In the early 20th century, Tulsa's Greenwood district, known as Black Wall Street, was one of the most prosperous black communities in America. It was home to thriving businesses, banks, theaters, and luxury homes, proving that black Americans could achieve economic success despite racial segregation. However, this success sparked jealousy and resentment among white residents, leading to one of the deadliest racial massacres in US history, the spark that ignited the massacre. On May 30th, 1921, a 19-year-old black shoe shiner, Dick Rowland, entered an office building to use a segregated elevator. Inside, he encountered Sarah Page, a 17-year-old white elevator operator. A scream was heard, and Rowland fled. No one knew what had actually happened, but the next day, a newspaper published a false and inflammatory headline, accusing Rowland of assaulting Page. Fueled by racism and false information, a white mob gathered outside the courthouse, demanding Rowland's lynching. A group of armed black men, including World War I veterans, arrived to protect him. A confrontation broke out, a gun was fired, and chaos erupted. The Greenwood Massacre, the night of May 31st, 1921, turned into a nightmare. Thousands of white rioters stormed Greenwood, setting fire to homes and businesses, looting stores, and attacking black residents. Some were dragged from their homes and shot in the streets. Even more shocking, private planes were used to drop incendiary bombs on the community, one of the first aerial attacks on American soil. Law enforcement did little to stop the violence. Instead, many officers joined the rioters or arrested black survivors rather than protecting them. By the morning of June 1st, 1921, Greenwood was in ruins. More than 35 blocks were burned to the ground. An estimated 300 black residents were killed, though the true number remains unknown. Over 10,000 people were left homeless. The cover-up and decades of silence. The Tulsa Massacre was not only a tragedy, but also a deliberate cover-up. News articles and records mysteriously disappeared. Insurance companies refused to compensate victims for damages. For decades, schools and history books never mentioned the massacre. Many survivors were too afraid to speak out, and those who did were silenced by threats of violence. The fight for justice. It took nearly a century for America to acknowledge what truly happened. In 1996, an official commission was created to investigate the massacre, uncovering evidence of mass graves. Survivors and their descendants continue to demand justice and reparations. In 2021, on the 100th anniversary, the US government formally recognized the massacre, but no compensation has ever been given to the victims' families. Why this matters today. The Tulsa Massacre wasn't just an isolated event, it was a deliberate attempt to erase black success. It serves as a painful reminder of how history can be hidden, rewritten, or ignored.